just have to ask you, just off camera, we joked that we should trade spots. And you said maybe someday. Is that something you want to do someday?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be in this field until I'm dead. Ideally not getting punched in the face at 45, but yeah, we're going to be backstage somewhere doing something. But yeah, you guys aren't going to get rid of me.
Commentary, would you do that?
Broadcasting, I'm all for it. I've been doing some local, regional stuff. We're getting better at it. As soon as the UFC is interested, that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome. Well, how are you feeling this fight week?
Oh, fight week! This is great. I'm here. Like we had a little scare. We didn't know if this was going to happen, but here we are, Denver, Colorado, UFC. We had a dance partner for Saturday, and I'm stoked.
How long did that scare last? Like, what point were you told you don't have an opponent till here's your new opponent?
I mean, it was probably like a week and a half. I mean, we trained like a solid 7 days. You know, not knowing who we were going to fight, but luckily the way I train, it doesn't matter who I fight.
So you keep training during that time? You don't sit on your ass?
No. I mean, I wish, but no. When the job's done, then I sit on my ass. But I mean, when we train for a date, and July 13th was that date, and I'm so eager to fight, and I know the work that it takes to get into the cage, and so yeah, we don't stop the ball from rolling until the fight's over.
Were you given multiple names, or was this just the one? Like, this is who you're fighting?
Yeah, I agreed to 5 different names. I mean, I tried to make Sean Shelby's job a little easy. You know, he just says, "Do you want to fight?" And I say yes. And yeah, the name after the fact, it doesn't matter to me.
So what do you think of the man that's going to be in front of you on Saturday?
Oh, he's fun. I mean, I had to go back. I missed UFC 303, so I had to go back and watch it. But yeah, he's a fun fighter. I mean, he's spectacular. He takes risks. I mean, he hits hard. He engages, and he's not going to try to lay on me for 15 minutes. And so I think this match is made for me, made for Denver, Colorado, and it is going to be fight of the night.
So Terrence McKinney tweeted something about, the taking a short notice fight or some quick turnaround, something like that, didn't work so well for him. What are your thoughts on that, the fact that he's turning around so fast?
I mean, it didn't work well for McKinney, but it might work well for Silva. You never know. And so I'm not really thinking about kind of what he's bringing to the table. I'm just going to assume that we're playing on equal playing fields, and I got to prove that I'm better than him on Saturday. And that's pretty much all I've been thinking about.
Have you seen him in the hotel yet?
I have. We ran into each other earlier today, and still, what a fun guy he is. So I'm really excited for this fight. It's one of those things where when you enjoy your opponent and you respect your opponent, right, you're not afraid to lose, right? So like you can open up and perform and make exciting fights. It's when you close yourself off and you don't like it and you fight with anger that it just doesn't come out well. And so meeting my opponent, knowing my opponent, and then seeing how well he performs, I'm going to elevate my game to his standard, and man, it's going to be fireworks.
What are you expecting from him?
There's zero expectation. I mean, I don't know what he's going to bring in. I mean, 2 weeks notice and, 2 fights in the UFC. I mean, he's kind of like a guess. But we've actually been working this camp through previous losses, an opponent change, and now with Silva, there is zero expectations in this sport. There's only reaction. This is the Wild West, right? I have to perform against anyone, anywhere, anytime, and the only way to do that is we just got to roll with the punches.
How excited are you to be in front of the Denver crowd? Can't wait to hear them.
Yeah, it's right now it's like Christmas, right? Like right now we got to do the shopping and wrap the gifts, but Saturday is going to be intense. I haven't fought in Denver since 2013. The fight to get me into the UFC. And we're back in front of a crowd again, and not only a crowd, but now this is my home crowd. And just the energy in itself, I have no idea what it's going to be like, but I'm going to enjoy every second of it, which I also heard Silva has a long walkout, which is my opportunity to really enjoy these moments.
Awesome. Thank you.
Drew, I was just going to ask you about that. Like, what do you make of that, of a guy that, like, fans have said, man, can we get this guy in the octagon already? Like, he's relatively new to the UFC, but his confidence is crazy. So what do you make of that?
I mean, he should be confident with a 10-fight win streak. 2 fights in the UFC, he's putting people away. Like I understand his confidence, and I'm glad he has it, because that means he's going to come forward. He's going to try to punch me in the mouth. Like, he's going to try to make something of this, and these are the type of opponents that I like. These are the opponents that I want to have every single time. And as far as the long walkout goes, it might not play in his favor, because the locker room is the worst part. But as soon as you put me in that pit and I get to see the lights, hear the audience, and feel the cage, that's when the motivation happens. So he can take his time, because it's only going to get worse.
I think like 19 plus first round finishes between the two of you guys. So is it safe to take the under 1.5 in this one?
I'm not looking for the first round finish. I'm curious on how long I can be in the cage with this man. And, I'm going to punch him as hard as I can. And if he decides to fall over, that's great. But, I'm also looking for this third round too.
A quote about your daughter: "I fight so she doesn't have to." What does that mean to you?
I hope to God she doesn't have to fight. My God, this is such a hard sport. And there's a long internship in fighting as well. Yeah, I think it's just every fighter's dream, especially becoming a father. It's like, I'm doing the things that I need to do so that way my family can soar and have the opportunities that I didn't have. And fighting it's a tough sport. So I hope she's either good at team sports or, gets an education.
And have you looked into his team much? Like, the fighting nerds have kind of come on the scene in MMA, and it just seems like all of their guys are winning. So I just want to know your thoughts on that camp.
Honestly, I don't know much about him. I had to do the research of this particular opponent, and the team is kind of new to me as well. So I'm just interested in gathering information and figuring them out while I'm performing.
Who do you think has more motivational quotes on their Instagram, you or Michael Chandler?
I want to know who actually writes these quotes themselves or who's copying and pasting. But as of right now, I think Chandler is he's exceeding me in quotes.
And what do you think of that whole situation? Because I know you'd offered yourself to fight him at one point, but do you think he's making a mistake by sitting out so long?
No, I don't think so. I think he knows what he's doing. I think the Conor McGregor fight is the fight that every lightweight wants. He has this opportunity. He's not going to waste it. I don't agree with it, because I'm trying to have more fights versus just that one fight. So I think I'm the counter of Michael Chandler.
Cool. Cheers.
Drew, do you think that even though with the opponent shakeup and having to switch things up in the last minute, you hit all of those bullet points of this is your backyard, this is something that you've had quite a breadth of experience in, you're one of the most decorated UFC lightweights in the history of the promotion. Do you think you not being in that co-main event slot or potentially being a main eventer for this card, or someone who was at least considered for the main event prior to the opponent shakeup, is that a little bit of disrespect?
Well, I appreciate it. However, no, I'm here to prove myself. And honestly, the way I feel, to answer your question, Matt Frivola knocked me back into the apex. I had a loss against him, and then I lost the opportunity to fight in front of an audience. And so I earned this opportunity to be in front of an audience, and I'm going to continue earning your respect and your admiration. And for me, I'm still in the proving grounds. I'm trying to show everyone what I'm capable of. And so I don't deserve a co-main event. I don't deserve the main event. I'm here to earn it.
This is a little bit of a side piece from the fight itself. There was a question earlier to one of the fighters of if he thought that he had the best drip in the UFC. I think that you're very you're in line with your fashion or with your style all across the board. Where do you see your list on the drippiest fighters on the roster?
I feel like I came in lack of drip today, but I don't know. I'm trying to be authentic to myself. If it's drip, great. But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be wearing the outrageous outfits or shirtless with a vest anytime soon. But I just like being me and being loud about it. So if you appreciate it, that's great. If you hate it, I'm okay with that too.
One last question for me. Being that this is your backyard, just to hit on that still home, how important is it for you, being a veteran and a presence within your gym and the fight community as a whole, to go out there and be a representation of our Colorado fight community?
It's really big for me. I started fighting in Colorado eons ago. I need to dust off, old memories about how far ago that was. But I want to be a representation not only for Colorado but MMA and and men in total, more than just the octagon, but how I carry myself in my training, in fight week, weight cut, and the fight, and even after the fight. One of the significant things that I started a long time ago was taking a knee after knockouts, because you can never be so good or so prestigious to not show respect to others. And this is kind of how I want to carry myself and how I want to represent Colorado MMA.
Does that kind of reflect back on just your traditional martial arts background and being the Thai specialist? I know you got Oscar here with you today. So, just does that kind of reflect back on the roots of being just such a traditional practitioner of the martial arts?
Yeah, absolutely. Respect, discipline, indomitable spirit, integrity, all those things I try to, core values and live by it. And I have the opportunity to practice these values on the biggest stage in the world. And it's very important to me that I can be selfish in this moment. I can beat my chest, get on the octagon and do all that stuff. And I choose not to. Why? Because at the end of the day, we're all the same. I'm just a father.
Thank you, Drew.
I have to go back to the drip question. Did you see Kamaru Usman's blue outfit that he posted?
Honestly, as soon as I heard the word drip, that was the first image that came into my brain.
What are your thoughts? Wear it.
The very first comment that I heard was, "At what situation are you going to pick that outfit out?" But he wore it well. It looked good on him. I don't think I could pull it off. But it's legit. But I think some of these UFC fighters are going above and beyond, and it's impressive. But I don't know how it's applicable to other formal events.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.